Hey, today we're doing crazy things. I know, you know, I do crazy things too. Okay, we're answering questions via email. I like this one I just got about from Sarah R. Will say, what is the first step of spiritualism? All right, comes from spirit guides and guardians. It was started in the 1840s. Okay, fatherhood of God, brotherhood of man, communication of spirits, and the ministry of angels. I use that a lot. Continuous existence of the human soul, personal responsibility, compensation, and retribution hereafter for all the good and evil done here on earth. Eternal progress open to every human soul. Every human soul. Get it? Okay? Every human soul. It don't matter. Now, that's the answer to that question. The first step. You have to have guides, okay, and guardians from your ancestry usually. And then there was a question from Jacqueline D. Psychic medium experiences intense heat during a reading. And what does that mean? What does that mean? That just means that the psychic is using the energy, but it's coming out in heat. And then there's the thing about when you're doing a psychic reading and stage magic and you're performing, the person uses the information about the person receiving the reading. Peter Pedoff's wife, Elizabeth, was caught canvassing the crowd before a show so she could figure out what was going on. In other words, there are a lot of people that are not, real in this area, but then there are a lot of people that are not real in every area. Okay. And then we have one from Ashley Hooker, but we'll say Ashley H. What does it mean to have a spiritual connection to someone? Yeah, what does it mean? Did you know that person in a previous life? It could be that, because I did have a question about previous lives. Now, that person about the previous life was, we'll say DT. DT asked that question. They call it acoustic recording of past life readings. People have readings from people that do past life, and then they go into a certain state of hypnosis, and they read the person and find out things about them. Some people don't like that. Some people believe it. Some people don't believe it. Some people would never try it. Some people think it's really stupid. Some people think that it's not stupid. So, you get different ideas on it. But Paul, I found on YouTube, was pretty good with it. He believed in the transmigration of souls, regression theory, hypnosis, access to past lives, collective memories of all the events of your universe. So they do have a collective memories of all the events of your universe. You have to be trained to know how to tap into that. You can't just tap into that. Okay? Like I said, you can try sleep hypnosis for past life regression, shamanic drumming, all of that. Okay? You cannot just tap into that. You have to be trained. Okay? And all these questions, most of it requires you being trained to do these things. Okay? Anyway. Back to Henry VIII. He actually beheaded two cousins, Catherine Howard and Anne Boleyn. Okay. He just got rid of them. But Catherine of Aragon's family would not go along with them. She came from a strong Spanish family. But can you imagine being married at 13 and at 12 years old? Catherine and the brother was named Arthur, but he died. Okay, but they didn't consummate the marriage. And so she ended up with the king. And he was, Henry VIII was born in the palace of Placentia. And he died in the palace of Whitehall, London, when he was 56. Now you say to yourself, what in the world? What in the world? So then you ask the question, did he suffer from brain damage? I would think so. After all of that, I would think so. I'd say yes to that. I mean, you can't consume them and check it out, but I know doggone well he had to have that type of problem. So there's one more question. Let me find it. Take notes. Okay. Now, about that being an afforded Akashic recorded past life reading, you just have to research that. You can go online and research that. Because some people charge a lot, some people don't. I had one done, but, it wasn't expensive. And then there was this strange question by Thomas D. Do you think the Bell state helps support for a telepath and ESP and teleportation in violation of relativity? Now, that's a deep thinker. Well, first of all, most people don't believe in teleportation. But they claim that they have spent a lot of money for real on teleportation, trying to get teleportation to work. Now, ESP, I already explained to you. Lee Andrews did ask what proven evidence exists that can confirm the existence of telepathy and telekinesis. And I told you we refer to remote viewers. That was in a previous video that I did. So, like I say, teleportation, that's one, that I'm wondering, is there such a thing? We see it in plenty movies. Okay? I can name all the movies, but I'm not. You can look it up yourself. But that's, I don't know. Maybe this person has looked at a lot of movies, and so he come up with this question. Because I'm really wondering, do they really believe in teleportation? You know what teleportation is. When you can be from one place and then you teleport to another place. You go to another place all at once. Now, they have claimed that even on YouTube, they got cases of teleportation. And they show you that a person suddenly appears from nowhere, that kind of stuff. All right. Just like if you remember, what's that movie where he was the Shadow? Remember in The Shadow, in one of the scenes where suddenly his enemy appeared in his room, and he teleported to his room. I don't know if you remember that scene. Anyway, like I say, a lot of this comes from movie watching, Some of it is real and some of it is not. And Jacqueline D about the intense heat during the reading, it could be that person is pyrokinetic too, or telekinetic. Those things happen, when you're doing the reading. It could be the client that's that way, or it could be the reader that's that way. So that would be the answer to the question for that. Anyway, those were the questions that I got. And they came from 650 Castro Street, number 450 Mountain View, California. Okay? And they are very interesting. Please like and subscribe. If you have a question, ask it. Okay? And as always, I read my favorite verse from the Bible, Isaiah 55:89. And God says, my thoughts are not your thoughts. My thoughts are better than your thoughts. My ways are better than your ways. This is the heavens is higher than the earth. My thoughts and my ways is higher than your thoughts and your ways. So it's all in thought. It's all in what we think. It's all in what we're taught to think. It's all in what we believe. It's all in our faith. That's where it comes from. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. He's my God. Baby Jesus, especially baby Jesus. It is around Christmas time. His birth, the 25th. That's when they celebrate it. So have a Merry Christmas or have a Happy Holidays if you don't believe in Christmas. You could be Muslim. But anyway, even the Muslims said Jesus Christ existed. So have a happy holiday. I will see you later. Odiba. This is Aura answering psychic questions via email.